Good morning. Good morning. It is Talk to Me Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing great today. While I'm waiting for my chat to pop up, let me just remind you my name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll get going. Now I hear myself talking. Where is it? Mute. Okay. It's weird to hear yourself talking while you talk. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so a few things. It has been one heck of a week already, and I'm so excited because today I will be releasing my second Richard Grannon video. I will have several over the next couple of weeks for you. Tommy D, good morning. How are you? He says, and morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I am actually, Tommy, I need to reach out to you about something. Remind me later. Can you message me after this session? I have a question for you. And let's see here. I have some things I want to remember to tell you today. Okay, that some of those things are going to come later. But while I'm getting in here, I have been so blessed. These are just a few of the cards I received from people around Christmas time, and we did a little exchange in Span and a couple other groups. So those have been done. I've got whoops, something just fell off my desk. Don't know what that was. Morning, Molly Ray. How are you? Am I still going? Because on my screen I'm frozen, but I want to make sure you guys can still see me. Can you still see and hear me? Let me know. Anybody? Anybody? Uh-oh. This might not be. Oh, wait. Hey, Leah. Can you guys hear me? Can somebody let me know if you can still hear me? Because my on my screen it's a little choppy right now. Tommy says he's doing good. That's good news. Good news. All right. I'm going to assume that you can hear me, and if you can't, please let me know, okay? Um, Morning, Kingdom Princess. How are you? Can you guys hear me? Anybody? I'm starting to think that you can't. Jenny May is here. She says, hi, Angie. My narc won't move out. He's absolutely refusing. Any tips? Already talked to the landlord. He won't do a thing. Does it come down to me moving? Well, oh, she said she hears me, but it's choppy. Should I re-up or is it fixed now? Let me know. Um, I'm kind of okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, good. Okay. So Jenny May, it might come down to you moving. Is the narcissist on your lease? If oh hey Malta, good morning. If the narcissist, okay, Leah can hear me. Okay. If the narcissist is on your lease, then we're talking about probably it's going to come down to you moving. If the narcissist is not on your lease, then you might have a certain amount of legal right here. But the unfortunate thing is, at least in the United States, usually there's a thing as if someone's lived in your home for 90 days, that's officially residency. And so then you have to go through the eviction process. And if it's not because you're renting, I don't know what the protocol would be on that. So let me know your thoughts. Audio is good. Okay. Stopping once in a while, but mostly fine. Okay. Malta can hear me. Very good. Tommy D says, marvelous Malta. Sup, buddy? I like it. Yes, on the lease. He's on the lease. Okay. Then, Jenny, I think your best option is going to be to find another place yourself because chances are he's not going to move. And if he does, it would be, you know, it would be only after much coercion. What are the chances of you moving? Malta says, good morning, Angie, Tommy D, and everyone. Shannon, if you're here, let me know. And if you're not here, let me know when you get here if you hear this. Brandy Ortega in the house says, can you do more videos on effects, reactions, cautions, tips, routines, patterns, etc. when the supply leaves the narcissist with the kids? It seems there are more videos when you're left, not the other way around. So the question is, when the supply leaves the narcissist with the kids, does that happen a lot? Yeah, I'll try to do something on that for sure. Let me just write it down in my bullet journal here. I have many ideas that I have in my list of things to do, so I'll definitely add this to it. So you want to know what happens when the supply leaves the kids. You got it. With the narc. Is that because the narcissist forced you to do it? or something else? Let me know. Um, okay. Wendy Wendy Bendy Boo is here. Good morning, Wendy. Nice to see ya. Welcome to our morning chat. And let's see here. Malta says, "Good morning, Tommy D. I'm okay, thanks. How are you?" Malta, I just want to tell you again, I'm grateful for you being here. I know you're leaving us at the end of the month, but every day I have you, I'm very grateful for that day. Wendy Bendy Boo says, "Howdy, y'all." Hey, girl. Hey, I love your name. It's awesome. Jenny May says, "Dang, thanks, Angie. I know it sucks. I'm sorry, honey." Rick Mash says, "Good morning, everyone." Good morning, Rick. How's baby girl doing? And Lisa Christensen says, "Just went through that same thing, and he would not move out of my house, as you know, Angie. I filed an order of protection. It was granted no hearing, and he is contesting." Wow, really? Oh, so typical. Or she filed a HAR order. I don't know what that is, but I guess that means, oh, harassment. Okay. Um, I think, but I get it. Molly May says, "I'm starting to get messages from a friend of ex narc. He's a friend of mine also, but I'm reluctant to reply to him as I don't think he will ever understand the true nature of his friend, my ex." Yeah, be really careful, Molly, because the fact of the matter is that that is a flying monkey situation. And actually, not today, but tomorrow, I'll be producing another video on that. So, with some of Richard Grannon's input as well. So, make sure you keep your ears open for that one. But definitely, a flying monkey situation. Definitely, I agree with you to be reluctant. I think you should consider not replying to him or keeping it very shallow and surface if you do. You don't want to give him any information because chances are he's going to just report back everything you say to that narcissist. So keep that in mind as you go forward. Um, let's see here. Tommy D says, "Ange, my ex told me she is dropping the PFA against me. She said she wants to do the right thing. Court hearing upcoming. If you don't hear from me, I'll be in jail." Tommy D, do not go to jail. I really hope that is not going to be an issue for you. Um, I'm glad she's dropping it, but I hope that you continue to remain no contact after court. And I hope that she really does drop it. I hope you don't end up in jail. You don't deserve that. And I'm so sorry. Stop the Chaos says, "I'm freaking out with excitement, y'all." Oh, excitement today. She says, "I almost feel manic. I heard Tony Robbins talk about the elephant tied to the post. When I realized that's what's happened to me along the way, I gave up." Oh, I've been there. Yeah. But you're not giving up anymore, girl. You're on top of it now. You're recovering and surviving and rocking this whole thing, and I'm so proud of you. I'm glad that you're excited. I'm glad that you found something that struck a chord with you. That's so important. I think a lot of us gave up along the way when we were going through that, and some of us probably never even fully understood how to not give up, how to not, how to fight in the first place. And I don't really like to fight things. I like to just focus, turn away from things I don't like or love and focus on those things that I do want in my life. But that doesn't always work out, does it? Yeah. Lisa Christensen says, "And he tells me, and I quote, 'Get out and stay the F out of my life. But all his stuff is here, and know, he'll know. So he wants her and tells me, leave him alone. I file the order and he contests it.'" That's ridiculous, Lisa. You know what I think you should do, and I think I probably told you this before, is take all his crap and put it in a storage locker, pay 1 month's rent, send him the key, and tell him you have a month to either get it or pay for the storage. And then that way he could be officially out of your life. That's ridiculous that he's contesting the order. Stop the Chaos says, "I handed over my power and now no more. I'm so excited. I am a powerful elephant and he's nothing. He can't stop me." Hey, I love the energy, girl. Keep it going. That's good. I love that empowerment feeling. It's so good. Beautiful, beautiful, my friend. Lisa said, "Ran out of characters." I thought you, girl. Okay, it was harassment order. Okay, making sure, making sure. Rick Mash says, "Angie, I watched your video about explaining the narcissist. Could you do a video about explaining to someone how a person feels after the abuse?" Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good, good question. Good video topic. I'm writing it down right now. And I'm glad to hear that baby girl's doing amazing. That is wonderful news. I'm writing it down. So the question, how a person feels after the abuse, how to explain how you feel after the abuse. Okay. To an outsider, right? Um, okay. I'm writing it down. I find this bullet journal thing, you guys, is working so well for me. I mean, I'm like on top of stuff. I'm getting my bills paid. I'm getting all my things done. It's so good. So if you guys have scattery creative minds like mine, bullet journal. Okay, I made a video about it the other day. Um, and there are so many people on YouTube who do make videos about it every day. They have whole channels about it. So I don't need to make a bunch of videos about it, but I did make one because I love it so much. All right. Malta says, thank you, Angie. Glad to be here. Big hugs to you, my friend. I really, again, I appreciate you so much. Okay. Tommy D says, if the judge asks if we violated, I'm not going to lie and say no. So I guess it'll depend on that. Warrants, contempts, and punishment. I mean, do you really think that he's going to if she came to you and you allowed her to come to you, do you really think that he's going to put you in jail for that? If he does, he should put her in jail too. I'm just saying, because you weren't the one. I don't know. Oh, Lisa says, hell no, sorry, not heal. Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay, thank you. That makes more sense. Tommy D says, elephants rock. I agree. Brandy Ortega says, short version video on when an empath leaves with kids and leaves the narc. Oh, when you leave the narcissist and you take the kids. Oh, that makes more sense to me. Okay. Because I thought you were saying something else entirely. Yes, absolutely, I will. Leaves and takes kids. Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, why would somebody leave their kids with a narcissist? That's so weird. But yes, I got you. Thank you so much for clarifying that, Brandy. And I updated my note because I was going to have to really think about that one. This one I can do. Absolutely. Because that's exactly what I did. I left my narcissist and took my kids. So yes, I got you. I got you, girl. All right. Um, let's see. Stop the Chaos says, I didn't realize how obligated I was to the thought of marriage. I never wanted to be divorced, but we didn't have a loving marriage, just nonstop chaos, chasing my tail to keep him pacified. Yeah, I get that. And you know what? On that same token, for people who have been with parental narcissists in their life, the parental narcissists very often make you feel very obligated. I did. I felt incredibly obligated, and then in that moment, those of you who know my story know that my parental narcissist called CPS on my family and lied about us and tried to get my children taken from me. Obviously, that didn't happen, thankfully. They came into our home. They saw everything was fine. They talked to our children, but it was humiliating and embarrassing. And when I realized what she had done, literally something snapped, boom, inside of me. That sense of obligation was gone immediately. But that's because anytime somebody tries to, affect me in that way, mess with my kids, anything like that, I got a little crazy in me, I guess. I don't tolerate that at all in my life. And so it was easier for me to be strong for my kids, I think. And that moment of clarity, I literally almost physically felt something break inside of me. And I think that was the sense of obligation because it was literally gone in a split second when that happened. It was shocking, but it was no joke. And it's never, ever reattached. I've never ever since then felt that sense of obligation that I did at that time. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm seeing myself frozen on the screen again. Um, Lisa says, where was I? Lisa. Okay, wait. Here we go. Lisa says, and he went to a mutual friend's house who was on my side. Too bad for him. And she said he was so angry and hurt. And said, you won't believe what the bitch did. I can't believe she did it. Wow, really? Oh, I'm so proud of your friend for being on your side and telling you the story because that's shocking. And you know what he was trying to do, Lisa. He was trying to get your friend over on his side. And so I'm glad that your friend is really your friend and stayed on your side because that's a big deal. And it's important to have friends like that in your life. So flying monkeys are assholes. Pardon my language. Yeah. Malta says, Angie, YouTube did not appear to send a notification this morning. Yeah, I thought that same thing, Malta. And the last time this happened, they sent a notification like an hour or 2 hours later or something. And I was like, okay, but that's okay. We're here and people are kind of building up. I'll be here for a little while today. So about an hour today. So I'm hoping Shannon comes in because I need to ask her, I need to tell her something. And I have something to share with you, but it's regarding Shannon. So I don't want to share it till she's here. Emblem says, I gray rock for a long time from my narcissist who is still coming to see adult college commuter children. I can go so long, then I blow, get defensive because I have to correct his magical thinking. Help. Ooh, I can relate to that. I have gotten myself in so much trouble over the course of the years because I keep getting myself I can't not tell somebody when they're full of crap. I have a problem. It's a problem. I'm getting better at it. Here's what Emblem. One of the things that I have learned is that one of the most effective ways to really do the gray rock thing is to remember to yourself, I'm not going to waste my energy on somebody who won't hear me anyway. And it's frustrating and it's overwhelming. And especially when you know, oh my gosh, this is such crap. I can't even, you just can't expect that person to truly, um, they're never going to get it. If you try to correct them, it's just going to start a big fight, as I'm sure you already know. It's just going to cause a bunch of drama that I don't know about you, but I can't stand the drama. I don't want it in my life, especially, I mean, a little fun drama is one thing, but narcissists don't do fun drama. They do stupid drama that's stressful and disgusting and it makes your stomach hurt. You know what I'm saying? And so I totally understand why you feel that way. And maybe sometimes you got to put the smack down on him, but I would honestly, let me ask you a question. Tell me what happens when you try to correct the magical thinking. Does the narcissist actually respond to that in any positive way, or does it remain negative? Let me know. Malta says people are trickling in 22, 24, 26. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't understand why they didn't send it, but sometimes I guess it's just a little fluke or a flaw with the algorithm. I don't know. Stop the Chaos says, I just can't believe I feel like this. I never thought healing would feel so good. It hurts so bad. Angie is a bright spot in my life in the darkness of this foolishness. Thank you, Angie. Oh my gosh, that is so kind and sweet that you would even give me a little bright spot. I love that so much. And I'm so proud of you because you know what, you've done all the work. I've just been here to help you kind of connect with our awesome community and maybe give you some little insight. But honestly, it's all you, girl. You have done it, and I am so proud of you. Keep going. You're amazing. I'm really, really proud of you. AB is here, says, good morning. Good morning, AB. How are you? Welcome back. And Malta says, good morning to AB, who responds, hey, Malta. Tommy D says, I'm not afraid. I know you're not afraid, Tommy. You're a badass, but I'm just saying, I don't want any bad things to happen to you. You've been through enough. I'm just saying. Okay. La 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 la. Where was I? Okay. Tommy D says, my God is my defender. Okay, I can dig that. It's Your Life says, how did you take your kids? My narc always fights the school to get my special kids services, and I feel like maybe he's not a narc. Confused. Okay. So my narcissistic parent, when I was 6, back in the day, they thought right-handed or left-handed people were devil's children or something like that. And some of that trickled through to my first grade teacher who tried to make me write with my right hand. I'm a left-handed person. I mean, I can do a lot with both hands, but I just lean toward my left. And my narcissist mother went and fought the school and told them exactly where to put their right-handed bullcrap. So I don't think that narcissists are all. You have to remember that a narcissist sees their children as extensions of themselves, and so they might be offended if they don't get what they need. And there are different levels of narcissism, toxic narcissism, and there's a whole spectrum with the cluster B personality disorders, and you've got your mild narcissist, and then you've got the real extreme narcissist, and then you've got your sociopaths and your psychopaths, and you got your, histrionic people and all the things in between. You know what I mean? So it's possible that he just has, strong tendencies. How did I take my kids? I only had one at the time. My oldest, who is now 20. And what I did is I caught my ex-husband masturbating in the same room with my baby, who was 16 months old, up and walking around and within 2 feet of this behavior in the same room while I was asleep in the bedroom. I walked out and I found this. And so there was no question that I was taking the kid. And I literally steeled up my back. I got strong and I said, this is not going to be his life. And I took I spent a week packing my stuff. I didn't tell him I was going to leave right away. I eventually told him because I kind of broke during an Oprah episode, long story. But I ended up taking my son. And when I had the divorce papers signed, he looked at the fact that I was going to have sole custody and tried to complain about it. And I said, if you F with me. I'll take you down. I'll tell your entire family what you did. And, um, and he was scared of that. And so he signed the papers. He did have the right to see our son. He chose not to. Um, he would have been supervised by me. He had the choice to choose me or a court appointed person. He chose me. When he realized I wasn't coming back, he faded away. Um, so if you're in a situation where your narcissist is in some way a good parent, then I think co-parenting might be an option, or at least parallel parenting. But um, you have to think about some things like, is the narcissist really going to be able to take care of the children all day long? And maybe you just want to do some kind of a visitation schedule if you're not scared for their safety when he's got them. If you are, I was scared for my son's safety. And what I did is the judge said to me, can you write me a letter so I can put in the file of your reasons for this? And so I did. And he put it in the file and gave me what I wanted. So um, there were some extenuating circumstances there, but I've got some more information that I'll put in a video for you about this and share that with you. The 51 Project is here. It says, I just emailed my narcissistic mother with my no contact boundaries from you. With my no contact from you boundaries tonight. Feel the pressure off. Also emailed my golden child brother with the details of our lives. No moving on. Now moving on, I hope you mean. And I understand. I had to do that same thing several years ago. And my golden child brother was also involved. I was a scapegoat, unfortunately, but I'm okay with it because scapegoats are, we're creative souls and we're little rebels in our own little way or whatever. Lisa Christensen says, I ran into him at the liquor store before ordering and ignored him. Would not go in, talk, look at him or nothing. Wouldn't talk or look at him or anything. And I get a text after he sat across the street to see who is driving me saying, I see you with your boyfriend. What a jerk. Yeah, I thought you said no, moving on. Thank you. Yeah, what a jerk. Jenny May says, Stop the Chaos is that Tony Robbins on YouTube. Oh yeah, Tony Robbins is all up in YouTube. I love that guy. He's great. He's very inspirational. Absolutely. See, you guys probably know this, but I like people who are very positive. I try to be myself very positive because I do not think that, no matter how much pain you're in, if you can stay, certainly stuff sucks sometimes. Certainly life is hard when we're dealing with narcissists, but the pain of dealing with someone like we've dealt with, I feel like we've had enough negativity. I feel like, if we can be silly about it sometimes, or we can, make light of it sometimes, or have fun with healing, it can make it easier to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All right, let's see here. James LaCroix in the house says, Good morning. Good morning, James. How are you? And welcome back. Stop the Chaos says, opinion on Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. She's doing everything I was trying to do, letting him live in the guest house, holidays for the kids. It looks crazy when someone else did it. Is Ben a narc? That's a good question. I mean, obviously, I don't know them personally. I could see where he might become a narcissist because I've done videos before on how some people become narcissists due to fame, even if they were not previously a narcissist. I, I I understand why she's doing what she's doing. And if he's not a narcissist, then that makes a lot of sense to me. But I think I heard that he was doing some sort of sexual harassment stuff. Did I hear that? And so now I'm just torn. I don't know. My opinion is maybe. I would have to do more research to know for sure. I don't want to. I don't want to, say anything about them and their situation because I honestly I work so much. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV, and I guess I'm not really that up on that subject. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know very much about it. I do understand why. You would do that if the person was a good parent, but at the same time, I would not do holidays with my ex. I would not. I have done holidays with my ex's family a few times in the past, but they were different than he was. So even so, it was awkward and uncomfortable for me after a few years. So I didn't continue that. But yeah, Lisa Christensen says, "Oh, and good morning, all. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Good morning, girl. How you doing?" Let's see. Tommy D says, "I went to an amazing Joyce Meyer conference and it aired on TV today. All they showed of me was the back of my shiny bald head." That's cool. I think Joyce Meyer is an inspirational person. I know she's got a real specific philosophy, but I think compared to a lot of the other people, in her particular business, I think she's one of the most open-minded people I've seen, and one of the most grounded people I've seen in that profession. So that's cool. Hee Hee Woody 3 is here, says, "Good morning, beautiful. Good morning and welcome. I'm trying to plan my exit strategy and live day by day. Hate drama too. I feel you." I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but if you go to queenbeing.com/plan, there are some good, helpful downloads there for you. They're absolutely free. You don't even have to sign up to the site. I had this itchy spot right here on my head. My hair was a little wet when I when I got here this morning, but so it's still a little damp. But I don't know what this itchy thing is. Sorry, I've been having some weird allergy things. Probably need to go on a cleanse. All right, where was I? Okay, wait a minute. Stop the chaos. Okay. Okay. James LaCroix. Emblem B says, "Thanks, Angie. My head knows this, just waiting for my mouth to catch up." Totally feel you. Been there, done it. Totally get it. And your heart has to catch up too, right? I get it. Yeah, it's hard with you when you're dealing with people who are just babbling a lot. It's just, if you can consider your time and your energy a precious resources, and don't give them to anyone who doesn't deserve them. That's something that has changed my world in a big way. Yeah. James LaCroix says, "Angie, thank you for all your help and all your videos. My pleasure, my friend, and thank you for being here, being part of our little Spanily, because I always appreciate seeing you." Stop the Chaos says to Jenny, "Yeah, I have never listened to him before, but he came up on my feed. The elephant story, as well as changing your story, kind of caused another major breakthrough. I'm feeling the dopamine." I'll tell you what, I did a whole course called Rewrite Your Story, and it talks about, first first identifying the abuse that you went through and writing it down and understanding it, and then taking that and writing a new story for yourself. It's actually, I'm a huge nerd and I'm a writer, and writing has helped me personally get through all the things. So literally rewriting your story can be very therapeutic, for sure. And I'm glad you're feeling the dopamine, girl. Okay. Emblem says, "When I correct magical thinking, his antics get worse." Yep. She says, "Again, I know better, but I'm just not quite disciplined enough to hold my tongue. I'm at about 80%, 85%. Yeah, I totally feel you. Absolutely. And I've been exactly where you are. I have. And the only reason I think that I have managed to okay, look, I'm not going to lie to you. Just the other night, Saturday night, my husband had a couple friends over, and this person was saying to me, he was trying to tell me about life in China. And I mentioned to him that a friend of mine was teaching there last year, and she was telling me that there were people in the streets with their children who would literally, they'd cut the back of their children's pants out, and the children would go to the bathroom on the street. And I thought that was gross. But I'm an American, so I mean, I'm not trying to be culturally insensitive. It was just shocking to me. And I mentioned this to him, and he was like, "Well, that doesn't happen. This is how it is." Da, da, da. I said, "Have you ever been to China?" "No." Have you been to anywhere outside of the No. Oh. And then he tried to tell me that Japan and Asia were two different things. And I tried to explain the whole continent country concept. And anyway, then at some point during this ridiculous conversation, this person said to me, "I know what I'm talking about. I know all about this stuff." And I said, "Well, obviously you don't, because da da da." And then I had to stop myself. So I get it. Sometimes we all have to just tell people a little bit about themselves. But but it is, and I was annoyed at myself for giving him that much of my energy. But I totally get why it's hard. But this person is not somebody in my regular day-to-day life. So, I guess I was just eventually very irritated by it. And, even my husband became irritated. It was ridiculous. But it's hard to deal with people who are, there's a difference between somebody who just doesn't know stuff and somebody who doesn't know stuff and pretends to know stuff so hard that they literally insult you with their I don't want to say stupidity, lack of education. Anyway, James LaCroix says, my ex sent me another letter. I love you, James, you narc and liar, blah, blah, blah. And then, James, my friends know you're lying about everything. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. What are you sorry for? What I went through, that's okay. I handled that. Um, oh, yeah, with my ex. Yeah, I handled it. I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it was Tommy D and James. It was terrible, but definitely, definitely a good reason for me to leave. It was a horrible situation. So, Stop the Chaos says, Tommy D, it looks like we might need a GoFundMe to spring Tommy D from the clink. We already know she's not worth it. You're the one who told us that. Damn right. Damn right, Stop the Chaos. I like the idea of springing him from the clink, though. That's funny. Brandy Ortega says, am I the only one with a narc who confesses to the jealousy, ignoring, raging abuse, soullessness, no empathy, and asks me what's wrong with him, but he doesn't know there's something. He knows there's something, but he doesn't know about narcissism. Oh, that's a good point. Well, no, you know what? There are some narcissists, especially when they'll drink or do drugs or something, because what happens is their ego is temporarily suspended when certain things happen in their lives. For example, they become intoxicated, or if a horrible tragedy happens, or sometimes if a miracle happens, like the birth of a child, they might suddenly be a nice person for a couple weeks. So I have seen that kind of happen. I've also seen one of my clients was heavily engaged with a psychopathic guy, and he was awful. But from the very beginning of their relationship, he was telling her things just like that. And then at the same time, still abusing her, still cheating on her, and doing all the things. So I don't think you're the only one. But I do think that my suggestion is if you can get him to go to a psychiatrist, great. But I don't know that that will do anything. Asking a person what's wrong with you, it could be just a cry for attention, but it could also be that, if he really wants to heal, then, explain to him he probably has a core wound in there somewhere that's causing him to feel this way. And if he truly has the lack of empathy, the soullessness, raging, ignoring, jealousy, all these things, perhaps he should go see a psychiatrist. And I believe that if narcissists were able to take certain kinds of medication, it could help. And I believe that if they could ever heal their core wound, it could help. But I have never actually seen that happen very at all consistently. So Lisa says, I'm still in shock, Angie. He threw me a curveball. He's been gone with her for 2 months and said he's not moving home. And I know she was controlling that, but why contest it? He said, get out of life. Well, probably because the same reason that one of my clients had a restraining order and her ex contested it. And I think it's about image for them. I think it's about feeling in control, and perhaps it has something to do with their work lives. And, maybe they can't have anything like that on their record. I don't really know the particular reason, but I would guess it has to do with image more than anything. And yeah, there's no logical reason for a lot of the things that they do, but they are very concerned about their image. So AB says, I'm happy to have finally been able to make it. I'm happy to have you here, AB. Thanks for your gifts, Angie. I'm grateful for your generosity. Been watching videos and learning so much. You're amazing and you give me courage, girl. I love that. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here, AB. It is wonderful to have you. James LaCroix says, I love waking up every day, another day. Yes, indeed. Tommy D says, Batman, a narcissist? I don't know. He doesn't seem very narcissistic. Batman, anyway. Stop the Chaos says, his mother, father, and brother contacted me this past weekend. I kept the mother short, father shorter, and ignored the brother. I expect they're expecting me to take care of his malnourished, nutty self. Nope. Right. They probably are, but it is not your responsibility. You've done enough. And now you get to take care of you and your girls, and that's it. The rest doesn't matter. Tommy D, James LaCroix says, how you doing? Tommy D says he does wear a mask. Well, that's true. That's true. He does. That's true. Susie Bessie says, Angie, you are the most positive person I know of on YouTube. Thank you. She says, your energy is refreshing. Thank you for all you do for us. Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for being part of the family, Susie. Lisa Christensen says, just a reminder, Ange, so you remember all else I got on my plate. I lost one daughter a year ago Dad's in hospice, and then asshole, sorry, wouldn't move out, and I rented a truck for him to leave. Just a reminder. Oh, that's right. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I do remember now. I'm so sorry, Lisa. You're going through so much, and you just don't deserve this. Um, where was I? Okay. Tommy D says, I'm comfortable, James. Thanks. How are you, buddy? James says, Tommy D, I'm pretty good. My ex sent me a letter yesterday, and I happened to talk to a cop who was in security, doing the security in my building, and he says, you have a crazy ex too. It's more common than we think. Hope says, good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Welcome back, Hope. Not a problem. Tommy D says, yeah, outsiders looking in can see the destruction sometimes. Absolutely the truth, Tommy D. Um, but not always, because sometimes outsiders looking in are like, what's wrong with you? Everything was fine, because they don't get the pervasiveness of narcissistic abuse. It's terrible. Malta says, Hope, there was an issue with YouTube this morning where some people did not receive a timely notification. Welcome, and I'm glad that you're able to join us. Yeah, and if those of you who are here right now, you can always text AngieLive, all one word, to 33222 to be added to my text reminder list where I text people 5 minutes before I go live each day. Tommy D says, know-it-alls and jackasses. Yup, indeed. Stop the Chaos says, the kids and I were cranky for a minute because we didn't want to go to school. It was so great just to be cranky, then move on. I feel you. Said, no extra narc adding to the stress. No stopping to explain or keeping quiet. Isn't that nice to just be able to fully express yourself at home with your kids? I mean, oh, it's a beautiful thing, my friend. I remember many times keeping my mouth shut when I had feelings and literally shoving my feelings away in order to survive that crap. It was terrible. Yeah. Lisa says, Emblem, I am not good with filter right now either. Trust me. I want to kick him in the ding ding. Ding ding. Better not say the word very hard. What an a-hole. He just mad because he said he would file. I did. Good for him. Ding ding. Okay, good for you. James LaCroix says, do narcs have little amount of patience, Lisa? You know what? I don't think that narcissists have a lot of patience at all unless it suits them to do so. I've never, in fact, once experienced anything like that. Patience from a narcissist. Unless, of course, they were in the love bombing phase, in which case they have all the patience in the world when it suits them. Yeah. Tommy D says, GoFundMe for bail money. That's funny. Yeah. He says, love it. It is different in a backwoods county, so I don't know how strict they are about violating a court order. I'll see. Keep us posted. Please don't fall off the planet. Hope says, okay, thanks, Malta. Lisa says he owns his own business and he left the order at our friend's house and would not take it with him and is not telling anyone and trying to smear me. Very surprised. Only told them. Oh. That's weird. Well, I would suspect that if, he's not telling anyone and trying to smear me. Yeah, well, that's definitely, is he trying to smear you or he's not trying to smear you? Because I'm guessing he is, in which case it makes sense that he wouldn't tell people about the restraining order because that might, back your story up. So. Ashley Thrasher in the house says, hi, everyone. I'm late today. Sorry, Ashley. We had some trouble with our notifications today for some reason. James LaCroix is sorry that Lisa's going through this. And Tashi Chadwick says, hey, I only just found your videos. They're amazing. Thank you and welcome to the Spanily. I have one question, though. Is it possible for a narcissist to be unaware and extremely loving? My mom exhibits most of the things you describe. Yeah, it is possible. There are caregiver narcissists, so they, and I hate to throw this out here because I really love this character, but Beverly Goldberg on The Goldbergs is an extremely loving mother, but she's also, I think she has certain narcissistic tendencies that lean toward the caregiver narcissist type. She loves her kids. She wants the best for her kids, but she also, wants to sort of be the center of their world still. And again, I love the character. I'm not talking bad about the character, but you can definitely kind of see a little bit of that there. And sometimes she does messed up stuff to get the attention she wants from her kids. Granted, this is a sitcom and it's not that serious, but I could see a little bit of that in that character. I'm not saying the real mom is like that, but, for example, in a recent episode, I saw her create a group of friends, from people at school and sort of force them to be her friends, stuff like that. And, again, it's funny when it's on a sitcom, and I don't know that the real Beverly Goldberg is a narcissist at all, but certainly the character and the outrageous things she does has some of those tendencies and kind of looks that way. So yeah, I think it is possible for them to be extremely loving, or overpower you with their love. You know what I'm saying? That these are the type of narcissists who get their value from taking care of other people. It is such a thing. But if she's it's possible that she's still trying. If she is a narcissist, then you will see her trying to control you through guilt, through obligation, through things like that. And there, what do you think, Tashi? Let me know. Shona Eldering is here. Hello, Shona. Thank you for being here. Says you are so amazing. You gave me the courage to leave my narc once and for all. That is amazing news. I'm so happy to hear it. And welcome to the Spanily, Shona. Shona? Is it Shona? Okay, let me see. Where was I? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. uh, Malta, thank you for putting that in the chat. Tashi Chadwick says, none of what she does feels intentional, and I struggle as she so clearly loves me, but hurts me so much sometimes and doesn't understand. I couldn't go no contact. It would hurt us both too much. Okay, well, I understand that. And absolutely, I get it. And that's again, I guess I would need to know more about what she's doing. And I think that in this case, perhaps you could do a boundaries thing with her. It sounds to me like there's a little bit of codependency happening between the two of you, which is normal and understandable. I experienced the same thing with my narcissist mother, except it became too much for me at some point, and I stopped. The going no contact for me changed my life in some very positive ways. I literally felt a huge weight lifted off my shoulders almost immediately, and almost immediately my life started to get better. And but I would never force anyone into no contact if that's not something they could do. Perhaps her situation is different. Maybe she just has tendencies, but maybe she is a narcissist, and maybe you should think about, what does she do for you that is positive. And again, I wouldn't ask you to go no contact ever if that's not something on your heart. So know that there are ways you can deal with her, and I can talk about that, or you can take a look at any of the videos I've done about that. But basically, really quickly, the best and fastest way to handle it is to, number one, do not reward her when she does something wrong. Just Ray Rock. If she does something that hurts you, don't give her any of your pain. Don't give her any of your tears. Just don't respond at all with any emotion. And then when she does something you like, you can give her the love and support that she wants. That can become a good way to help her sort of see how you need to be treated. But again, it's an ongoing, exhausting process. So, Stop the Chaos says, oh, Lisa Christensen kicking cupcakes in the ding ding. OMG, OMG. She says, now I have to change my pants. So funny. I mean, really, I'm with you. Woo, that's a good one. I like the ding ding. Okay. I'm sorry. I had a moment there. Ashley says it's raining in Los Angeles. I'll be damned. Oh, I wish I was in Los Angeles. It's kind of gray here today in St. Louis too, but I'm good with it. Yeah. Tommy D says that before he accepted Christ in his heart, he was transformed. And was transformed. He robbed banks. He was caught, served his times, and still on parole. Oh, so if the judge wants to, he can violate my parole and send me back no bail. Holy crap. Tommy D, fingers crossed. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Ashley says, my mom's a caregiver narc for show. Yep, I feel you, Ashley. Lisa says, thanks, James, and stop the chaos. I needed to laugh this morning because this really does hurt. He already destroyed me and life. He already won her per day, so why not just stop? Got what he wants. Yeah, Lisa, I totally hear you. I think laughter is so healing, and I want you to do your very best. I know you're in a horrible situation and a lot of pain, and I know it sounds retarded. I shouldn't say that. I hate that word. It sounds really stupid for me to say that you should try to focus on the positive now, but you really should try to focus on the positive now. It's important. So, I don't know if I'm still here because I can't see myself moving on the screen. So if I'm not being heard, I guess tell me. Ashley Thrasher says, I set a boundary with my mom last night after asking her not to repeat something I told her. She laughed. So I reiterated it sternly, told her it's not funny. I'm trusting her, and the last time she broke it. How did that go? Um, okay, where was I? Totally lost it. Okay, here we go. James says, Lisa, I know it hurts. I was with my ex narc from 2015 till this past June, and a month later, when I was first dating her, the games and the first belittling thing happened. Yeah. James says, I didn't realize it was narcissism till a year into it. Well, it took me 35 years to see that my mother was one. So I totally get it. It's my life says, I'm scared my narc will get my kids, even though he once said, once we sign the divorce papers, I get to teach my kids my dumb ways. He wants a divorce every time the kitchen is a mess. I'm so stressed. Oh, I've been there. I'll tell you something about narcissists and kids. I mean, certainly there are going to be some who are going to try to take your kids, and I'm not going to deny that. And that's especially true if they end up with another supply who has this stupid idea in their head of, oh, instant family, right? But with that being said, I do not think that um, most narcissists don't want the kids because they don't want the burden of having to take care of the kids. You know what I mean? You're going to be lucky if they visit them on the regular. But certainly, again, certainly there are some that will try to take the kids. But remember this is my life. Remember that if you stay scared, you are attracting more of that energy into your life, more of the energy of the fear of having your kids taken is not a good thing to be focused on. So if I'm you, I'm going to start focusing on and visualizing my life after divorce with me and my kids doing our thing in our safe, comfortable home. That's what I would say. I hope that's helpful a little bit. Tashi says, yeah, what you said really makes sense. I've been working with a therapist to try to get to a point where I can set some boundaries. Thank you so much for taking the time to respond to me. Absolutely my pleasure. And welcome to our morning chat. Shona says, is it possible that the narcs just don't get the meaning of respect at all? Huh. My ex-narc said to me, of course I respect you, I cut your toenails. Yes, they absolutely don't get the meaning of respect unless it's respecting themselves. I have repeatedly tried to teach narcissists empathy. I have repeatedly tried to explain to them, how would you feel if somebody said or did this to you? And if I can catch them, it's kind of interesting. If you can catch them in a moment when they haven't just done the thing that you're asking them about, very often they'll be like, oh, I would be devastated, I would be so upset, whatever. But yet they still somehow justify it in their minds when they behave that way. And I think it has a lot to do with they're so self-focused that when they feel the narcissistic injury issue happen, they cannot possibly, they are incapable of seeing outside of themselves. They can't possibly imagine another person um, being as important as they are. And they definitely do not consider another person's feelings as important as their own. So yeah, they definitely don't get the meaning of respect at all when it comes to other people. They and what's really funny is that so often they'll say, "Oh, you disrespected me," as their reason to rage on you or attack you. You disrespected me because you looked at me the wrong way, or you said something with a tone in your voice, or whatever. They even very often make up the disrespect that they rage about, and it's ridiculous. So, yes, you're absolutely on target with that. Stop the Chaos says to Lisa, I'm right there with you. Oops, where was I? Okay. It feels like a bomb was set in the middle of my life. I'm finally realizing this Joker was never good enough for me and brought very little to the table. I am so proud of you. So proud of you. And I'll tell you something, what I have to remind myself of is that had I not made the mistake of being with a narcissist, I wouldn't have that awesome kid that I have. So I try to focus on that and the lessons learned. So, if I if I stay upset about things that I can't control, about life that I wasted, time that I wasted, hotness that I wasted on people who didn't deserve it, I definitely would be crazy. So I try not to do that. Yeah. Tommy D says a woohoo. Stop the Chaos says, Lisa, maybe ding ding will fall off. You guys. Ding ding. Okay, Maura says, hey y'all. Hey Maura, how you doing, girl? Lisa Christensen says, James, we have a 34-year history as best friends. Oh, that's so hard. Since age 14 till crossed no more until it crossed into more February 3 years ago, and after all that time, never saw this coming at all. Yeah, it's horrible, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's terrible when you a 34-year history as best friends. You would think you would be safe with somebody like that, right? And then suddenly, boom. And if I remember right, Lisa, I think I remember you telling me that, and I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember you telling me that he was like you thought it was different with you. Didn't I? Didn't you tell me that you kind of were aware of some of the people he had dated throughout the years, but you thought it was different with you because you guys were friends for so long, and there should have been an exception for you. Um, and and yet here you are. I'm so sorry, Lisa. Ashley said she just kind of looked like she wanted to cry. Sorry. More DeLuca says, Angie, thanks for the video with Richard. He is so knowledgeable and laid back and relatable like you. Yeah, I really like him. I have several more videos coming for you guys in that series because we did a pretty long interview. So I'm instead of playing, doing it, I may run the whole interview in its entirety at some point, but I will definitely be sharing every bit of information with you guys. So the one I'm producing today is about narcissists who have recovered. Yeah. Morris says thanks. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Stop the chaos. Where was it? Da, da, da. Stop the chaos. Where are you? Okay. Stop the chaos says to Lisa, if it weren't for Angie and divorce care, I would still be paralyzed, but I've made some major progress in 10 months. I'm very excited for the next 10, focusing on the light. It's a beautiful thing, my friend. Lisa says, oh, and I just figured out after going through this with him, my disabled mother that also lives with me is a narc. Pulling out hair. That's interesting because I literally did this when I figured out that my mother was a narcissist. Then I looked around and saw that, oh my gosh, my ex-husband was a narcissist, this friend, that friend. I mean, lots of negativity around me, and I cleaned up a lot of things. So I get it. It's unfortunate and true. And I would say, I bet you about 95, 96% of the time, when you end up with a narcissist long term in a romantic relationship, you have had a parental narcissist or at least a person in your life growing up who was a narcissist who affected you during childhood. You would be shocked, and a lot of times when clients come to me initially, I'll go, okay, well, they'll tell me their story and we'll talk about it, and I'll say, now let's talk about your childhood, and even when they don't realize there was a problem, very often when they start talking about it, it comes out that in fact there was someone in their life with narcissistic tendencies at the very least. So or someone like one of my clients is amazing, but she's a doctor and her parents love her very much, but they tend to try to sort of control love her, so they call her, even though she's well over 18. Let me just say that. I don't want to give too much away about her, but they will call her and try to control her from a different country. So it's a messed up situation, but she continues to try. So she's doing great, though, I think. So Rick Mash says, it's amazing how they don't know the concept of respect, but they constantly demand it. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes. Adrian is in the house. She says, hey, Malta, Angie, and everyone. I didn't get to see your video from yesterday until today because my narc was around. He's scheming on me, trying to set me up to look like I'm not taking care of the kids. Well, watch your back because they have no loyalty, and especially because he's trying. Please, please watch your back. My mother did it to me and she literally called. I was just telling everybody, called CBS on me, and there was no reason for that. It was not a legitimate call. It was a revenge call, is what the CPS person told me after she talked to me, my kids, and my husband, and looked around our house. But be aware. Be aware. Malta says, is anyone experiencing interruptions on video and buffering? I hope not. James LaCroix says, Angie, my ex doesn't lie and cheat, but made a video in New York, and there was a guy out of the video saying her name, and she told me her girlfriend was hiding from the video. Ooh, eek, that's a little scary. Star Child says, good morning, you guys. Good morning, Star Child. How are you? Welcome back. James LaCroix says yes to Malta. More DeLuca says, still getting daily texts about anything to get back together. Still not responding, but how long will this go on? Um, until they get a new supply. And even then, if the new supply isn't quite as good of a supply as you, it might continue until they, you know, you got to keep Gray rocking. Don't respond. He's doing it because he can, because he thinks that eventually you're going to break. So just hold out and prove him wrong. Stop the Chaos says, Lisa Christensen, 30 years here. He decided we should be friends after 23 years of marriage. He's been on Mr. Toad's wild ride ever since. Thankfully, I'm only 42, have my kids, and now have peace. Yeah, and I'm just going to really be straight up with you. 42 is totally young. We're totally young, girl. Okay, moving on. Ellie Seeley says, yeah, Malta, lots of buffering on my end. Okay, I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's kind of stiff, says Starchild. Molly Ray can hear me. Kingdom Princess says, Angie, when you said caregiver narcissistic, confirmed that yet another narcissist is a close relative. Wow. It's unfortunate, but true, isn't it? I'm so sorry. James LaCroix says, Maura, just avoid it. They will keep trying to text. Yeah, I agree. Freedom Lee in the house says, morning, Angie and Marvelous Malta. I'm just getting started on bullet journal. I know it will help me because my brain gets scattered at times. Thanks so much. Love you. Back at you, girl. I actually bought one for my son last night. I bought a little tiny pocket-sized one because my middle son, Noah, his head works a lot like mine. So he's trying it out starting today. I helped him get it set up last night. So here's hoping it works for him too. It's been great for me so far. So I'm in love with it. It's a great system, because like I said, I generally have always I literally buy those yellow notebooks, the big yellow legal pads by the case, and I fill them up. But then inevitably I accidentally switch notebooks, or I lose one, or I don't really lose them. I just misplace them sometimes. And this is better because it's like an indexed version. I mean, I do think that I may need to go ahead and get a couple of these and keep them in stock because I'm a prolific note taker, but it's been a goddess thing. It's a God thing. It's been really, really helpful. Okay. Where was I? Okay, wait. Interesting title for video that airs today, Angie. Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. Stay tuned for it. So that was Kingdom Princess. How you doing, by the way? James LaCroix says, Star Child, not sure if they recover. I'll give you the full deal in the video today and explain exactly, because watch the video, please. I don't want to give it away because it's good stuff. But yeah, is right. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Adrian says he's working with his family, but trying to make it seem like he has nothing to do with it. Oh, man. I know. James LaCroix says, oh, wait a minute. Anne Leah Artsy is here. Hello and welcome. She says, could a person who is extremely helpful be a narcissist? Yes, of course. Caregiver narcissist, things like that. They try to, there are people, like there are these volunteer people sometimes who are narcissistic. They become obsessed with being recognized for their charitable contributions or for all they do for people and stuff like that. And certainly, I understand that. But yeah, a person who is extremely helpful could be a narcissist. And the way that is if their gifts come with strings attached. If they are expecting something in return, like if they say, they help you pay your rent one month, but then they want you to, in return, to become a member of, their church or whatever, and show up every week. And if you don't, they get mad and call you and say bad things to you, for example. That literally happened to me when I was younger. For example, yes. James LaCroix says, Angie, isn't it true that narcissists are on the spectrum? If the traits of they can get help with, if they're on the more malignant side, there's no help. Okay. I think that up to a point that's true. Generally, though, I think the tipping point is the empathy factor. If there's no empathy from that person, they may be less, it might be impossible. But we're going to talk more about that in this video today, so stay tuned for that. Freedom Lee says, Malta, you're right. I better enjoy the time you're here. Yes. Ashley Thrasher says, my best friend growing up was a narc. I went low contact around the age of 20 without knowing what it was, and my life improved drastically. Got a great set of friends now. Yeah. Yep. I did the same thing in my case, Ashley, with someone like that. In fact, before I knew what it was, I was working with at this company back in my early 20s, and there was a girl that I worked with who I, became friends with, and she was so negative that I kept finding myself just dreading, having lunch with her every day because she would just complain and gossip about the whole office every day. And it just really felt heavy and yucky in my energy. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I slowly I tried to let her come with me, but I wanted to sit with other people also because I didn't want to listen to that all the time, to always have the negative stuff, energy around me and stuff like that. So she came back around and got upset with me for moving tables or whatever. It was some high school crap as an adult. But yeah, I didn't know what no contact or low contact was, but that's exactly what I did. And it was not, the way that I went about it may or may not have been the best thing. I was, going through a lot myself at the time. But it did change my life for the better at the time. So Leah Artsy says, yes, a lot of buffering. I'm so sorry. Lisa Christensen says, stop the chaos. I agree. Angie's literally saved my life. God helped me find her. And she reminds me of my daughter with voice mannerisms and blonde like my daughter who was like me. No BS. We'll send a picture. I'd love to see a picture, Lisa. Starchild says, yeah, I'm like after all we've gone through. I feel you. Leah Nova Scotia says, right on, stop the chaos. I love that attitude. I try to live life to the fullest. Don't follow the narcs rules for you. Hold the light. Absolutely. Hold the light. I am just about to wrap up. I'm going to do a couple of more comments and then I'm going to wrap up. I was hoping Shannon would pop in today, but I guess we missed her today, so maybe I'll get to see her tomorrow. Maura DeLuca says he always has supply. Find them on Facebook and dating sites. Yeah, they do that. And they very often use their lies about you, their smear campaign crap about you to connect with the next victim because they feel sorry for them and they go, oh, I can do better, and then that's when they well, my ex, she was so controlling and so mean, and then that's how they get their new person to let them, spend the night out of the house, and I'm just at my friend's house, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's manipulation, and it's ongoing. Yeah, it's messed up. But they use their sob stories to get new supply for sure. Two more comments and I'm going to run. It's My Life says, I just realized my childhood narcs were my dad and his sister. They picked on my mom constantly. And when I turned 15, she had a stroke and was in a chair for 14 years. She just got to go rest. See pattern. Oh, how painful. I'm so sorry. And what's really messed up is that they literally can cause a stroke. They literally can cause a stroke. And worse. They literally can cause health problems for us because our bodies, even if they're not physically abusing us, with the mental abuse, our bodies, we stay in this negative state and our bodies aren't regenerating like they should. They're not healing like they should. And our blood pressure goes up. We gain weight, we get sick, or we lose weight, depending on who we are. As physiologically, some people lose weight when they're stressed. Some people gain weight. Either way, definitely a pattern. And it's my life. If I'm you, I would definitely be aware of that and consider how you can avoid a similar fate as you move forward and start focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. I'm so sorry. Okay, one more comment and then I'm going. Let's see. Did I see Kingdom Princess? I feel like I'm missing things here. I want to keep talking, but I just have to go. Okay. I want you guys to know, I want to make one quick announcement before I go. Last year I was doing 2 sessions on Tuesdays. I am not able to do that anymore this year, at least not for now. I've got a lot happening. So I will continue to do my Monday through Friday sessions in the morning. Right now I'm not going to be doing my second session on Tuesdays. I am working on a possible evening session coming up for those who aren't able to make it to the morning sessions. But I don't have a date on that yet. So stay tuned. But I will not be here today at 1 p.m. Central, just so you know. That's changing this year. I'm trying to get my arms around all the things, and it's just this is the only day that I have to really make all my videos for the week where I can, make more than one. And because of the way YouTube's working, I can't, um, I can't I have to post in advance. So everything's changing with YouTube lately. So if I have the ability to come in for a second session during the week again, I will let you guys know. But right now it'll just be Monday through Friday in the mornings. Okay. I hope you're not too upset with me. It's My Life says my dad worked so hard and had us living in a falling house, but was cheap. Every weekend we went to see his mom and sisters and he left them money and groceries. Oh, that's terrible. Picky Nana says boundaried out the wazoo right now, constantly in coping mode. Ex-narcissist was actually easier. Mom comes with flying monkey sister. Oh, the worst. Kingdom Princess is doing so much better since discovering this YouTube channel. Thank you so much. He says, boy, do I have a story enlightening listening to the characteristics shared with you all. You know what? I want you guys to know something. I'm glad. Oh my gosh, Adrian, I'm so happy to hear that your cousin's willing to help you, and I suggest you take that help. I want you guys to know something. In case you missed it, make sure that you consider sharing your stories with the upcoming anthology I'm publishing. If you are interested in that information, you can sign up at Life Makeover Academy to submit your story. We have several really good stories that we're probably going to be using, and we're looking for a few more. So if you want to share your story and help other people, there's a video on my channel about it. Just go to my channel and type in anthology and you'll see it. But I would love to have your stories. So all right, that's all I've got for you right now. As always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. I'm sorry I couldn't continue with this, but